today's video, I'm going to be going over the best ARs for Warzone 2 up until the integration of MW3 in December. For those of you looking for the meta ARs, I got you covered. To kick things off, we're going to be going over the FR Avancer. The FR Avancer is a really mobile AR in my opinion, and you don't need to run an optic on it, and it's really good mid-range for the TTK. At long range, it's not the best, but it has an insane fire rate, so you could get away with running it like a sniper support or main AR, and sometimes even win SMG gunfights. Going over the attachments, we're going to be rocking the sock and tread muzzle. We run the sock and tread muzzle because there is a lot of vertical and horizontal recoil. So this muzzle basically helps mitigate that and making it easier to use. Going over the barrel, we're going to go with the 600mm long bore because this is going to add the best bullet velocity and the damage range. It nerfs the ADS and of course the hip recoil control, but we're not too worried about that. We're going to maximize the recoil steadiness and the damage range to ensure long range beams and long range damage. For the underbarrel, now that tuning is back, we're going to be going with the FTAC Ripper, and we're going to tune that for recoil stabilization and aim walking speed, because in my opinion, aiming idle stability doesn't really mean anything. So make sure you tune it like this so you can get a good strafe mid gunfight to make sure your enemies miss gunshots. Going over the ammunition for the AR, we're going to be rocking the high velocity, and we're going to tune that for the damage range and bullet velocity because that's what's best for ARs, so for giving us the best bullet reg at range for people flying in, and you know, like I said, longer range engagements. And of course, this gun has such a fast fire rate that you need to rock the 60 round mag. Now, for those of you who are gonna ask, can I run an optic? If you're gonna run an optic, I recommend removing the underbarrel and then throwing on the aim op or whatever is your preference, but this is what I feel like, in my opinion, is a really good version. Oh my gosh. Not like this, guys. Going over the next AR, we have the Tempest Razorback. The Tempest Razorback was a sleeper for a while, but now it is really freaking good, man. Kick things off, we got the Tanker V barrel, which we're going to tune for the damage range and the recoil steadiness, because this gun doesn't really have recoil, but if you want to make it as easy as possible to use, crank it up for the recoil steadiness and of course for the damage range, and you will have a great time. Going over the underbarrel, we're going to be rocking the DM Proto Grip. Now, I don't see this underbarrel on a lot of other ARs, but on this one it is there, and it is definitely worth using over the FTAC Ripper. We're going to tune this for the recoil stabilization and the aiming idle stability. Like I said, if you want a better strafe, crank this over to the left, but for whatever reason, I just feel like the stability has been helping me with those long range beams. Going over the ammunition, like I mentioned, for the other AR, we're going to be going with the high velo, and we're going to basically maximize the up on the damage range and to the right for the bullet velocity, giving us the best range on the gun and of course the best, you know, hit reg at range as well. And of course for the magazine, we're going to be going with the 60 round mag, and for the optic, we are not going to leave that as an iron sight. We're going to throw on the aim op, and of course flinch resistance doesn't do much on ARs. We're going to tune that for the ADS, and of course close to far is totally preference. I prefer the far on some ARs. On this one, I prefer the close. This weapon altogether is really good mid-range, just like the FR Avancer, just a little bit easier to use in my opinion. And it's a super satisfying gun. It kind of looks like it's something from Halo. Definitely worth using though. G freaking G's. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Over the next AR, we have the Castoff 762. This gun has been amazing for like the last season and a half. Even after nerfs, it is incredible and is what all the pros are using in tournaments, including myself. For the muzzle, we're going to be going with the TY LR8, and basically what this muzzle does is removes all horizontal recoil control, so it's just strictly vertical. Meaning instead of having to like pull down to the left or down to the right to control the recoil pattern, you just pull it straight down, so it's much easier to control. And we're going to tune that for the stabilization and the recoil control. Going over the barrel, we're going to go with the Cast 10 584mm, and that's basically for the damage range and the bullet velocity and the recoil control. We're going to maximize the damage range on this and the recoil steadiness. Now, of course, if you tune it to the ADS, you'll have a much better ADS and have a better opportunity in the mid-range engagements if you get caught off your hip. But in my opinion, if you play it right, you don't really need the ADS too much. And ultimately, if you're in that range, you'll probably be using your SMG. So definitely maximize the damage range. We are not going to be rocking an underbarrel, and I'm going to show you why now. When you throw on the high velocity for this one, the bullet velocity by default on the Castoff 762 is already so good. So what we're going to do is we're going to tune this all the way to the recoil steadiness, and we're going to maximize the damage range because recoil smoothness doesn't do anything in this game. It's a terrible thing to even add, waste of space. So yeah, make sure you maximize the damage range and the recoil steadiness. Going over the optic, we got the aim up, and like I mentioned, I like some ARs on close, some on far. For this one, I like it towards the far side, and of course for the ADS speed, we're going to crank that all the way towards it.
He beat me so fast. Yeah, I'm done.
And then, of course, last but not least, we have good old reliable M4. This gun's been around for forever in COD, and it's really nice, as you are going to see in these clips I provide you at the end of the video, just how solid this gun is. For the muzzle, we're going to go with the sock and tread, again for the vertical and horizontal recoil control. When you're looking for muzzles to tune and what's important, the guns that have more of like a circular motion, go up, down, left, right, when you shoot and have that shake, you want to try to remove that as much as possible. So we're going to tune that for the stabilization and the recoil control. Going over the barrel, we're going to be going with the high tower. We're going to go with the high tower barrel because it has the best damage range and bullet velocity statistics while involving some recoil control. So maximize the damage range and the recoil steadiness to make sure we have the best chance at those long range TTKs. For the underbarrel, we're going to be going with the F-Tac Ripper. And again, it's for the recoil stabilization because this gun does have that weird bob to it. And adding these attachments helps mitigate that and makes it much easier to use. So tune it for aiming idle stability and the recoil stabilization. For the ammunition, of course, like I mentioned, ARs is strictly high velo, and we're going to tune that for the bullet velocity and the damage range. I don't have it all the way to the right because I feel like the recoil in the M4 with an iron sight in particular, it's a little iffy sometimes. So I cranked it over here, and I feel like I found the sweet spot. So this is definitely nice. For the magazine, we're going to be going with a 60 round because like I mentioned, you need 60 bullets nowadays in these guns. You know, you do. There's so much cover. You're going to have to lay down so many shots, and you want to make sure you have extra ammo to get your knocks in case you don't have equipment to use. So 60 round magazine.
That's it, mate. You can take my broccoli all you want, mate. I'm not sure broccoli's making a difference to this one, huh?
Didn't I see one like crossing the street? Dude, oh my gosh, this thing is disgusting. Oh my gosh.
Fucking hell, Mark. Fucking great.
I'm like beaming, you know what I mean? Like actually beaming right now. Nah, this is just insane. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, these are the guns we're going to be using up until we get the new weapons in Warzone in December. If I'm going to rank these weapons in order from best to worst, I got the Castoff 762 being at the best, then I got the FR Advancer, the M4, and then the Tempest Razorback. Now, these guns are all super good, so if you're asking for the absolute meta, like I mentioned, it's the 762. After that, you have all these guns you could use, and I promise you, you will have similar results. Just one might be a little bit better towards the damage per magazine size, and the headshot multiplier with the 7.62 is really good. I hope you all enjoyed this content. If you do, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.